Hi, it's John from North Star Nursery Garden and Home, your coastal gardener. So it is salvia season. Salvias are coming in left and right, and I did a little blurb on some of them specifically earlier in the week, but I wanted to kind of show you a little bit of everything that's coming in. The one that I talked about earlier in the week that I did a little video on was Salvia Big Swing. This guy gets easily 4 feet tall and probably about 3 feet wide and wants full sun, deer resistant, has this lovely blue, kind of a sapphire blue flower. So nice big blooms. This would be really good at the back of a bed so that you can really let it do its thing. Also, we're getting in all of your all-time favorites. This is Salvia leucantha. This variety is called Midnight. It has the purple on purple flowers. And so this one's a great one. It blooms very well in our area. Creates probably about a 3-foot mat of roots and stems that can be cut down every year to the ground, except when they're brand new this year. So what you want to do with all of these salvias is wait, if they're newly planted this year, to wait and let them actually harden over the winter with all of their leaves. And then in the early spring season, you're going to want to go ahead and cut them down really low after about April 15th. After the second year, you can go ahead and prune them hard in the fall. That's fine. It's just that sometimes when they're young and the frost hits, it can be a little too much and you might have a failure. So that was Midnight. The other one that we have in stock right now is called Mischief, White Mischief, and it's a white flowering variety that is very pretty. So for those of you looking for a moonlight garden effect, this would be a great salvia for that. A lot of you have seen our front bed when you drive up. Let me see if I can find the one I need. So the salvia that we have out front there underneath all of our window boxes is this variety called Salvia Wendy's Wish. This was a hybrid that was created probably about 3 or so years back. And what happened was there was so much popularity with it, they started playing with it even more. So this is another variety called Skyscraper Dark Purple. I love the flower color and the calyx. So the calyx is what holds the actual bud, and then the flower is that fuzzy little thing that pops out. It just has an interest that's year-round. This one I think is stunning. You don't usually see a lot of, this isn't like a true orange, but this is called Skyscraper Orange. It's kind of more of a sunset color, but I think it's really beautiful. The stems, when they're creating their buds, look almost like an oregano flower because it's all papery. Very, very pretty. Then we have Skyscraper Pink. This guy's really nice too. A slightly darker calyx with a pale pink flower. Again, all of these are loved by hummingbirds, bees, butterflies. Great for your pollinator garden. These salvias I just showed you are all, they look kind of tender, but surprisingly they're not. I had one at the house that I've had now for 2 years. And it went through the frost, it went through everything, and it actually was still blooming most of the winter. Not as heavily as it blooms now, but definitely a good, almost year-round bloomer. I kind of felt bad because I had to cut it back, and it was still going. So another one, we're getting these new ones. This is part of the Vibe series. I love this. This one is called Vibe Ignition Sunrise. This one came in early on and my staff cleared it out because they fell in love with it. It's a really beautiful salvia, short scale, probably about 2 feet max, and a really great bloomer. Another part of the Vibe series is this one called Vibe Cranberry. Where's that flower? Sorry. I'm trying to find it for the picture. Great, deep, deep red for those of you that like red in the garden. It's a great one, and it also would be a great attractant for hummingbirds. I'm running out of room. Also, this is one of my favorites. This is Salvia Patens Blue. This flower is just stunning. It's a very large-scale flower on a relatively short profile plant. The plant tops out about 2 feet or so, and then the flowers spike about a foot above that. Again, really, really great. Stays year-round here in our area. Can be cut down after the second year to kind of get it to fluff out more. In other worlds, Salvia Marine Blue. This is a really, really beautiful salvia that handles being cut back really nicely, has that nice kind of purpley blue on this gray foliage, and just does very, very well here. It's been very popular with our customers. Another salvia, this one isn't blooming yet, but this is Salvia uliginosa. It is what we would call bog sage. This is one of those kind of unique plants that will actually handle a wet situation, like a boggy wet situation, or it can be drought tolerant like a traditional salvia. So I've put these in ponds on the perimeter. They're what we would call a marginal bog plant. So they can sit along the banks of a pond, or if you wanted to put them in a water feature, you could have it so that the crown is not submerged, but that the pot is actually in the water, and it does very well. The flowers are kind of a mix of a powdery blue and white, very pretty, has great movement, kind of like a grass in the wind. This guy I definitely cut back hard each year, and it just regenerates. So another good one. And you can also propagate it if you wanted to. This is one of our beauties. This one has been around for probably, I don't know, probably about 10 years or so. This is Salvia Mystic Spires. It was a hybrid that was hybridized off of indigo spires. Indigo spires is probably about 3 feet tall. This one kind of hovers at the 2-foot mound, and the foliage is just there at 2 feet, and then the flower spikes up to probably about 3 at the very max. Great color, really good bloomer, really great performer. Another fun one, this is a new series, the Salgoon Lake is the whole series. It looks a little bit like the Wendy's Wish family, in the sense that it has that kind of tubular flower with a different colored calyx. But the leaf structure is very different. It looks a little bit more like this guy. But there are about 5 or 6 different varieties. We only have one right now, and I'm actually looking at bringing in plugs to grow them for next year, because they are just really a good performer. And there's about 5 or 6 different colors. So we'll be looking for that in the future. This is, I'm forgetting, Salvia garnitica. The variety is called Rhythm and Blues, Bodacious Rhythm and Blues. It has a black calyx and a blue flower. Very, very nice. This guy can be a little bit on the frost tender end. You can kind of see it has kind of delicate stems. So definitely don't cut this one back until the second year. You can cut it back, of course, after the first year. I'm trying not to confuse you guys. Just give it a year to get established. That's that. Oh, we want to remind you that salvias, although they're all deer resistant, if you're planting a new salvia that you have not had in your garden, you want to spray with liquid fence. This will keep the deer from even trying the plant. They're going to try things in your yard if they're new. So don't plant something that's quote unquote deer resistant without thinking that they're going to have a little nibble to see if they like it or not. The other thing is, if your salvias aren't looking very good, You can use Maxi to kick them in the butt and get them blooming. This is a great fertilizer. You can use it every 2 weeks. You can use it once a week. It's just totally up to you. And then of course, if you're planting, you have to be using Sure Start at the base of the hole. That will get the plants set up for the years ahead. I think that is it. I hope all of you are having a great day, and we will see you at the nursery.